What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Fatboy FadeAway podcast. Got Tyler here. I'm Darren.
How you
Darren
doing?
Breyer. How you doing, big man? Sunday night.
Pretty
About
good.
10 o'clock here, wrapping up the week of sports. It was kind of felt like a good week, a normal week of sports for the first time in a while. We had
I don't know about a good week.
well, maybe not a good week, but it felt like we had we had baseball, a playing NBA playoff game here. A little
That was a good game
on the weekend here. We had it felt like some real sports going on here. Last week we had the PGA Championship, so it feels like we got sports a little bit back in the swing a little bit.
Yeah, getting the swing of things.
I'm liking
Giants
the new location though. By the way,
weekend.
first I gotta cut you off though. I'm liking the new location here. It's not the pink walls. I'm liking it.
It was ruining my brand.
There you go. Well, I'm liking it. I gotta point.
No, I just needed a new spot. Like now, I look like a real manly man in my garage with.
Gotta get some.
Oh, that's the kinks of a new location for you.
You gotta get some tools behind you or something.
You want to check out my tool bed? Call me Tim the Tool Man.
So I wanted to get into the team that's on your hat, though. Obviously, this is my team right here, the A's. We should have lost the first two games. We beat you guys in pretty heartbreaking fashion. For you, let me remind you real quick. On Friday, you guys were up 7-2, and we came back and tied it at 7. Won 8-7. The night after that, Canna hits the home run, won 7-6. The day they destroy him 15-3. So obviously, we knew the A's were already the better team going into the season. So you're not probably shocked that they. Yeah, it stings a little bit when you blow a game to begin with, but it kind of gets me into my bigger point about the Giants that I kind of wanted to run by you was it kind of just feels like, even when Kapler was hired at the beginning, I knew Giants fans were not for him because he kind of had this association with the Dodgers apparently, and so that part I didn't really care about at all. Like that, I'm like whatever. That's just kind of is what it is.
Yeah.
But when he was at the Phillies, I watched a decent amount of games. Like there was just moves where he just felt very cookie cutter, I guess you would say. And I think that's the same thing I feel like when he's very scripted with I feel like Bochy, even though Bochy had his guys 7th, 8th, and 9th, he still kind of had feelings of okay, this guy maybe isn't going to have it tonight. He would kind of reverse it a little bit. I think that's the one thing with Kapler. They maybe don't have the guns, but he just feels a little scripted. I'm curious to get your thoughts on because I wouldn't be very. He feels like a Bob Guerin to me as an A's fan.
I mean, Bob Guerin won 100 games a couple of times at least. This guy, we win.
Oh, Bob Guerin.
40% of our games.
Did it all.
What?
Bob Guerin was terrible.
They won 100 games one year.
No, not with him. I don't think. I don't think they were. The A's were always pretty bad with him.
With Guerin, they've never been bad. I feel like for more than 4 years at a time.
Well, Bob Melvin they're fine with, but Guerin.
Well, they've been great with Melvin.
Yeah, him they were terrible with because they
Who was their coach after Hal?
Yeah.
After Art.
They had Ken Maka.
Oh, okay, that's something.
And then they had Bob.
Good
Guerin.
old the Maka dude. Bob Guerin was
That's why I'm saying he's like the Gabe Kapler. Of the
Giants he's terrible.
Coaches, I feel like.
Gabe's terrible. Gabe, we're on a first name basis.
Well, he does kind of have he does talk a little interesting as well. He's the total polar opposite of Bruce Bochy. So it is interesting watching the Giants this year. They just feel like a whole different team.
None of his moves have really worked. Solana, the GM's done okay. He's gotten some decent players in that for keep that they're not
Yeah, but aren't you pissed that you somebody better though? Come on,
who?
They were, I don't know.
No one wants to play in AT&T that's a hitter. Who
so you think it's a bigger issue now that the Giants have?
Well, I think maybe with closing those gates out in right field and the park playing a little smaller, they might be able to.
I have noticed there have been some more home runs there.
They closed those gates where fans could stand, below the right field fence.
Yeah.
I guess the wind is drastically different.
Well, it's been pretty hot there too, but. 391 to center is not very deep, so I guess that's not I know it's a little bit deeper than that.
It gets deep to right center, but they even shortened that I think a little bit.
The thing that I also with the thing with the Giants too is that have you noticed any difference even listening to the games or watching it this sabermetric thing that they're trying to bring in. Like, do you even notice that at all in the last like couple of years at all? Like, anything, like,
shifts
like
are
that?
a little bit more extreme than before, but nothing other than that. Like the moves they make, no,
Nothing really.
Particularly, nothing really. I mean, with the 3-out thing this year, it's harder to do that also as well, where relievers have to.
I mean, I just feel like the Giants are probably at least there whenever Joey Bart comes up in that. And then they have that other guy. I just can't.
They have some shortstop from outfield.
They have an outfielder too, and like
he must
he
be
was
like 26 or something.
But when the Bart comes up, that's when I feel like the Giants will probably start to make that turn again. That's what they're hoping for anyway. So we'll see. It kind of feels like those Randy Wynn, Benji Molina era kind of going on like that right now for.
It's as hopeless as it gets with this roster.
But I don't really feel sorry for you because you did a 3-1 series. So
I mean, I don't feel sorry for us.
So that kind of gets me into another interesting topic. I kind of like him for it, but I don't have the balls to do what this guy does because I kind of think, well, you guys won the championships last, so I don't really want to talk crap. Is Dave Cavill. And I was listening this week a little bit to KMBR, a little bit coming into work here and there, and a few times they brought up his name and him. And just I could tell, not for him specifically trolling on something, but like more like I remember Jeremy Alfeld brought up a point like on the Tolbert show where he goes, they were bringing up the Babe Bridge series, whoever wins or something, gets this trophy or something like that. He goes, yeah, we don't throw celebrations for that like some people do. Like, you know what I mean? He was taking a cheap shot at Cavill at that part of it. I know Murph always takes cheap shot at him. And then on Saturday when the Giants blew the game again, he tweeted out, "We're going to be riding a bandwagon down Marcus Street if any Giants fan want to hop on." So I kind of was curious. I like the guy because I feel like as an A's fan, I just want a new stadium. So I don't really care about anything else. I really don't care about anything that he does. Like, I don't care about any tweets or anything.
Stay in Oakland.
All he gets is stays in Oakland. I feel like he's blowing up smoke, but it does feel like he's closer than anybody has gotten before him so far. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
They at least have a site. The city, Alameda, they're all actually in meeting together for the first time. So that part I care about, but I'm curious as a Giants fan, what do you think about this guy?
He's just a troll. If he was my president, I'd love him. I think it'd be great. Like, but I mean, we're just as much in his head as he thinks he's in our head. Like, why do you spend so much time talking about the Giants? Like, when the Giants put up the cutouts, he's like, "Oh, we're gonna do it too," and visitors teams can have cutouts too. Oh, and Giants fans, we'll put you out in like some pigeonhole or something where they can basically shit on you.
How about
the pigeons shit on those cutouts? And then a couple of years ago when the Giants were doing very well, and the A's were doing well, he's like, "Giants fans, come to the game. If you traded your Giants hat, we'll give you an A's hat." Like,
yes, that one I like.
It's good stuff if you're on his team, but
like right now, like your hat right now. Your hat, when that gets dirty. When it gets dirty, wouldn't you want to turn that in for a day's hat?
No, I'd rather have diarrhea.
You could give it to your brother for Christmas or something like that. You look at it, you take advantage of it.
If I got a brand, maybe I could just use it for selling on eBay. I got a brand.
Yeah, there you go.
Fuck you, Dave.
That'd be so funny if he gave you back like the Pee Wee version of A's hats.
That's what he probably would do. Knowing the A's.
The little zip ones. The little throwaway ones.
It has a little New Era logo.
Yeah, exactly. That falls off within a day.
It's probably it's not even a snapback. It probably has like one of those like little bungee things on the back.
That kind of brings me to also like with the A's is, speaking of him.
Hold on, let me ask you something. Who is he? He's your president?
So he's the president of the team.
I thought that was Billy Beane. I thought he was president of the GM or something.
Well, he's like the CEO, like the president and CEO of the team. Like, he does the business side of it. Billy Beane runs the baseball operations side.
Okay, so they're like are different sides presidents. There's two presidents.
Yeah, exactly. Kind of like how you have Bob Myers do that for the Warriors, and you have Rick Welts do the business side for them. So anyways, somebody brought up to him about them getting the stadium built over and like how long that would take. And he said by 2024. I would be stunned though if that actually happens before that point actually happens. Don't you?
It all depends. No, I mean, yeah, it would stun me. Just yeah,
it feels like in California, nothing gets built
unless you pay for it privately.
That's what they're saying they'll do.
Well, then I don't know why it wouldn't. It should get built. If you're going to put all the money, it's only going to make Oakland stupid then if they're not going to let someone privately. Why wouldn't you? Yeah, it's a business that draws so much money to your city.
You can't lose the Warriors. You can't lose the Raiders. And you can't lose the A's. I mean, you just can't lose all three sports teams. Like you basically lose your identity in some regards.
If you have no sports team, you're dead.
Yeah, that's kind of
what no one cares about Oakland.
So that's
I mean, who else? The only thing you're going to be talked about is for murder rates.
Pretty much,
literally.
Yeah, that or. Yeah, that's about it. And the A's are also what they would do. I don't know if you heard the plan. Actually, what I thought was pretty cool is they would take the Coliseum site and they would turn it basically basically blow up the site, obviously. But basically, where the baseball field is now, they would keep it a baseball field, and they would basically make it like a circle, and grass would be surrounded by a huge field, and so it would still be like a baseball field where people could like play like a park and stuff like that. So it was a pretty cool idea.
There's a lot of potential for business in that area also. If they made it nicer and
where
where the stadium is now.
Yeah, but that's not where they're gonna build it.
I thought you said they're gonna put it in the same spot.
No, they're gonna build like a recreational park in that area, and they're gonna try to build it over where in Howard Terminal, which is.
Oh, well, that's already a nicer area, right?
Yeah, but it's not developed at all, so it's gonna take a lot more time. So, anyways, he's getting closer to doing it. So. I like that he pisses off Giants fans a little bit, just a little bit, but he doesn't. Really
I almost laugh at him.
Yeah, I know that's
he doesn't piss. I mean, I can see why he's annoying.
I think Giants fans look at him like an idiot, like Murph does, but I think at times, I think he gets under like somebody like his skin too.
When you blow 2 4-run leads in the ninth and you start squawking, it probably annoys some.
He's like, "God damn it, that band."
I have to listen to that son of a gun.
Yeah, I know. But it kind of gets me to the A's too. Is like, as an A's fan, obviously I'm pumped that they're off to a good start. Even though
not forget you lifted the jinx by saying they're awful this year.
Well, they were off to a 3-3 start.
Brought them to life.
I didn't like that
3-2 was not cutting it.
I didn't like that. It was 3-4 actually, and I didn't like. I didn't like the way they played. As you know, I'm very pessimistic to begin with, but every time they do this all the year, they win regular season games like this. But my worry is they get to the postseason, right? If it's a series, the only thing to do is either hit home runs, right? They don't manufacture enough runs against quality pitching. So that's always their issue. Whenever it comes to them facing the elite pitching, they never can actually they always rely on the home run ball, and it's very hard to take the Garrett Coles, the Justin Verlanders, the Porcellas that are pitching well in the season, or those type of things. And they just always manage. That's always their failure throughout their whole entire run here. And the one year they actually did win, it was with Marco Scudero getting a base hit, to win it. It's just kind of like a random year, the year they won it. So I kind of feel like
they won it. They never won it.
Won
Marcos. Series?
A series, I should say.
Who did they play in the ALCS? They beat the
Twins, and they got swept by the. They got.
So that wasn't even the ALCS.
No, they got swept. They won a first round series
against Detroit.
No, against the Twins, and they got swept by Detroit.
Oh, I thought they beat Detroit.
That was the series where Maglio Ordonez. Yeah, then the Tigers went on to lose to the Cardinals.
In the World Series?
Yeah, that's when.
That was Verlander's third year with Pudge.
Yeah, that's when Wainwright was a closer actually for the Cardinals at that point. Yeah. But yeah, so the A's, that's my only worry with them is if they get down to the playoffs and then you have a runner at third with one out, I just fear they'll strike out and not actually make contact and stuff. So even though they're off to a good start, it's hard for me to get really excited about it because. I don't really trust them yet. I guess they have a lot of failures, so they have to kind of make that up in a way. So kind of like you with the.
But so did the Giants before 2000. Yeah.
Right.
it was failure every year. We wouldn't even win a series.
Especially
except
after
for
that Jose Cruz play. That had to put that put it over the top, I felt like.
It wasn't even that play. It was like game 5 where they'd take the lead, they'd blow the lead. They'd take the lead. No, game 5 of Florida, the Jose Cruz series. And then JT Snow got thrown out at home. And Pudge is holding the ball.
Yeah, they sent him and he got tagged out by about 20 feet, basically.
Yeah.
Not a good decision.
Jeff Conine, not even a great arm out in left field.
Oh my gosh! Yeah, that was the low point. You felt like at that point before they won the World
Cup. That's when I was like, we're never gonna win. This is a hopeless team. I remember putting it on Facebook one time. I was like, I don't know why I put so much gosh darn energy into this team. They always just let me down. It was like after a Seth Smith grand slam in like game 150 of like 2000 some year on Colorado. I think his name was Seth Smith. He played for the A's.
Yeah.
Is it Seth?
Yeah.
Okay.
He got a big hit for the A's actually against the Tigers in the playoff series, which they lost in game 5 to Justin Verlander. So.
Is there anyone on the A's you trust in like a clutch situation? This year?
This year, I'd probably say Laureano. I would kind of trust in a clutch situation.
He doesn't strike out much? Or?
No, he strikes out, but he seems to be having early success with clutch situations. And that's about it. I don't think I really
That's it?
I mean, there maybe if somebody's getting like during because the problem is like you take.
What about Murphy?
Scotty. Definitely not, because he's not a contact guy. That's my issue. Like even somebody like Olsen,
no, he's not a contact guy.
They have the potential for it.
Who do you have at second base this year?
Not Barreto. Gosh, I can't think. Give me a second. I'll think of them. But they had Tony Kemp right now. He's playing a lot.
Man, he's been in the league forever. Unless it's a
29.
different Tony Kemp. Okay, but he's been in the league forever.
I guess he played. Him and the guy on the Giants went to college together at Vanderbilt. Yastrzemski.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So
that's a good college.
Yeah. So.
I remember Tony Kemp on the Royals. I think
he was on the Astros the last few years.
I think he was on the Royals before that.
Okay. Yeah. So, anyways, the A's, I'm just a little like, I don't know, man. It's just like, it's frustrating every year with them. I feel like they do this crap. And when you say, who do I trust? It's like, well, who the hell am I supposed to trust? Like, they're very, like, they either just strike out or they all run. Chris Davis is on the bottom of the barrel. Like, I don't even know why he's getting at bats. If he gets any postseason at bats, there's going to be an issue with it. Like, if he's like, if there was a runner on third base, I'd be like,
under 2 outs.
You're out of the game. You're out of the game. We are not taking. We need.
What if you're down 2?
Contact. We definitely need. I need somebody to make.
Still,
he's an automatic strikeout. He's literally
not an automatic strikeout. But
do you know what his average is on the year?
Probably like 112.
He was batting .50 for a little bit during there.
I think that's on 112. I have no idea. I know he sucks, but he has these stretches.
My point is like that's when I hate Bob Melvin though, when he does stuff like that, when like he kind of sticks with certain guys when it's like, come on man, like he's not going to get a hit here. He's not going to do anything, or like certain things in the postseason you need to do more. Like if you have a runner on first and it's the third inning and it's 1-1, like you bunt him sometimes with second base. I don't know, like you just do things that are
because Billy Beane would fire him.
Yeah, but I feel like in the postseason, like if you have a runner in scoring position, the pressure is so much different on the pitcher at that point. In a postseason game, regular season, whatever, like it really is. It's totally different. Like, right? If you're in a postseason game, you get that guy at second base. Everybody's up a little bit more, knowing that one mistake and he can basically just get a single and he's in for a hit, or just a pass ball in an air, or just everything's amplified a little bit more. So I don't know. That's what I'd like to see them do a little bit more of.
That you mentioned like putting pressure on the pitcher, and that's something I felt the Giants did in the World Series run so well, was they always would put the pitcher in high leverage situations, like almost every time someone got on base, even if it wasn't bunting but they'd somehow like maybe get lucky, which a lot of their but some of their success was due to. And they were clutch. They had Freddie and Scudero, and Panic was clutch that third year, and Renteria was terrible that regular season. He didn't even play a lot of games. There was Uribe and Pablo. And then Renteria got hot in the
Don't you think baseball's also one of those sports too where they like you can kind of like the postseason, like your team just can, even if it is get
for
hot.
sure. It's waves. I mean? You have this tidal wave coming at you where you're
and like you said, you have like these average players that can carry you, like the Cody Rosses of the world.
Yeah, just hot series.
The Rebays and the Renteria. So,
and they very rarely made big errors.
I mean, look at somebody like the Nationals last year, right? Like the Brewers should have beat them in the wild card game, and then they went on to win it all or something like that. So I don't know.
And that's what happens when you have guys like Scherzer and Strasburg at the top of your rotation. Or Bumgarner and Lincecum come in his prime, and Kane. And
that's true.
You have more room for a little
bit more room for air.
Yeah.
So Chris Davis is batting. Just to let you know, Chris Davis is batting $1 for you right now, so a little higher than I thought. 15 strikeouts and 43 at bats, or in 50.
I mean, that's pathetic.
In 50,
I'm not arguing
43
that.
at bat. Oh, not a good start to the season for Christopher. It's not what we were
You traded for him last year.
I know. I think I traded Nola for him, but thankfully I have Nola back this year, and he's delivering quite well for me. That's my best pitcher, actually, so far this year.
Why the hell didn't I take Bieber?
I don't know.
Flaherty's bitch ass. He's only started one game. They have 3 games back, and he still hasn't started one of those. What's he doing for these last month? Half a month.
He hasn't. They didn't start him the last 3 games.
No, and one start from him. I don't get it.
So
that's my rant. But
now they have 52 games in 43 days.
He gets 4 starts.
Yeah, 4
they
starts.
They have 10 double headers.
What if they threw what if it was a 7-inning game, right? He goes 7 innings but throws like 60 pitches. Let's just say hypothetically, right? Or 75
There's no
pitches.
way they'd start him. I guess.
And they just go, all right, we'll just throw him another inning at least to get to us. So he starts the next game. That'd be great if they did that.
So I wonder what
he gets 2 wins in one day.
What are the rules for a 7-inning game for a starter?
What do you mean?
You have to go 5 innings, or
I think all that plays.
Stay the same. I don't know.
I would think that would play. I would think it would play the same.
I doubt it, but maybe
because
if you pitch 5 starters, is it whoever pitches the 5th inning?
Well, because even in a 9-inning
not
game,
5 starters,
if you throw 9 relief pitchers, but even in a 9-inning game,
who gets the win?
It's usually I forget. I don't know. Don't quote me on this for sure, but I feel like it's something like for some reason, let's say like you were the opener for the Giants or something like that, and you
score right in the third,
like 5-0. Yeah, but let's just say like you're the opener, even and your team scores 5-0 in the first. I don't think you get the win.
No, you don't.
I don't think the win I don't think
who gets the win?
To
no one gets a win.
I think it's after the 3rd inning.
So whoever pitches the inning after
whoever's winning. I feel like it's something like that. I don't know that for sure, but I feel like that's when it becomes more official. Like looking at the track record in my mind of where that was, so that's where I think it was something like that. So it is strange, but anyways, the baseball in the Bay Area is it's kind of interesting with Kapler to see how the Giants finish up this year if they can make any. I mean, like I said, 16 teams make the playoffs, so they're probably not making it because the NL West is way too hard.
And they have no talent.
It is funny to think, but it's funny to think you still actually have just hypothetically.
I didn't even know who our starting pitcher was until I was watching the game today. I was like, "Who the heck is this guy?"
Oh, this is how biased KMBR is too. This is what ticked me off about. They were saying, "Oh, Kevin Gausman, he's kind of reminding us of Jason Schmidt." I was like,
he didn't start today, did he?
No, but he started on Saturday.
Yeah, okay.
And they were like, he's reminding us of Jason Schmidt. I was like, what? He's reminding of Jason Schmidt.
I mean, Jason Schmidt was unreal. He was one of the best pitchers. I was like, who the hell is Jason Schmidt when we traded for him? And we traded – who was that guy we traded? Lefty who stood up in the box. Really buffed – Rio? No, I don't know. Anyway.
Armando
Rios. Armando Rios. I was like, oh, good, get rid of him. We got a starter. And I was like, he's throwing 98 with a 91-mile-per-hour nasty changeup that just – we got a steal. He had to be on roids.
There was a couple of favorite announcements I liked from the Giants. One of them was Armando Rios. The lady would always say with a little Tito accent.
A little slur in her R.
Marvin Bernard.
Bernard was my favorite. He wouldn't even mention the R. Like Marvin Bernard.
that was I liked
Number 7 in center field.
I was there when he got the Willie Mack Award.
What a legend!
What an honor it was to see him get that. last kid.
Willie Mays, Marvin Bernard, doesn't get much better.
With Jared Diaz, who actually gave me a random phone call today. I haven't talked to him in like a year.
Jared Diaz.
That's a whole
Spike?
of it. Spike, yes, that's him. He's down in Southern California.
He belongs in Southern California.
I don't got any more on the MLB. I'm good on there after that.
I had something I wanted to ask you a quick
I
question.
got the sweep. We're feeling good. You know what I mean? So A's are looking good so far, I think. But like I said, I'm pessimistic there when it comes to the A's. So they got to until the playoffs.
We'll wait to talk in the playoffs when.
Well, I still like to complain even about things.
No, I'd love to hear you complain about the A's.
So we got to wait for it. Right now they're playing good though, so I can't have too much complaining about it at all. So that was good. So and I think I'm in second place now going into fantasy baseball too next week too.
I think I lost 7-5 today. I don't know though. I didn't watch the last.
I think you're still
game of the week.
And so I want to get a couple sports here before we wrap it up. NBA.
Remember to always wrap it up.
But good advice there. We'll get into the series, some of the series here in a minute.
You were going to say we'll get into wrapping it up.
We're not going to get into that one. No, we're not going to show a video on that. Sure there's plenty of,
Here's a banana.
I'm sure there's plenty of other YouTube videos out there. Bob Fitzgerald, your boy. I don't know if everybody doesn't know this. Tyler has never been a fan of Bob Fitzgerald going back to when he was first started. So that would probably put you at the age of like 14 when you started hating Bob Fitzgerald. Can you explain to everybody why your hatred for Bob Fitzgerald? Or at least your annoyance with him.
He's just such a homer. He'd talk up Monte Ellis and Stephen Curry when they were together like they were the best backcourt in the NBA because they'd score like 40 points a game ago. We'd take that from any backcourt. They'd give up 60. Like Curry ended up getting a lot better, so it doesn't look as bad now. But when you're watching it live, Curry's
he's getting paid from. He's getting paid. I mean, he's got to say that, right?
No, you don't have to say that. Dave Fleming doesn't say Donovan Solano's the MVP of the league because he's hitting 370. He's not like, Donovan's the best. Solano's the best player, third baseman in the league. Let's compare their stats in this week. It's week. He's awful. And he was even worse on KBR. That's what really put him over the edge. Where I was like, I don't want to listen to this guy.
I know. I'm glad Rob Brooks is not listening to more of that.
And he'd also always rip on the Giants because I don't know why.
He's a White Sox
This would
fan.
always rip on the Giants. Like, from rightfully so sometimes. Like the Randy Wynn years, they blew balls. But even when they got like Lincecum, Kane, and they'd be winning, he'd be like, they should be buying these players, or they'd bunt one time, and he'd be like, "You never bunt in baseball. Waste it out. It's a wasted opportunity." Like total opposite of you. I don't know if you ever heard him go on a bunt rant.
Yeah, he's the opposite of how I think about that stuff.
And he's just so arrogant.
But it more comes down to his. For me, I think knowing you, it's more his homerism towards the Warriors.
Oh, absolutely. It's the absolute homer.
That's
David Lee, he'd talk about like he's.
And it's the fouling, I believe. That's the number one issue you have with him, right?
Fouling?
Like if somebody gets a foul on the.
Oh, yeah. So, I mean, I have an issue with anyone who complains about fouling in the NBA. Like, the guys who are going to get favorable.
I want to make this clear, though. Tyler is one of the bigger complainers in rec league basketball, though, when it comes to.
That is not true.
And you got to admit it.
I had years when I would maybe not sleep the night before, and I'd be a little lazy and I call it tic-tac foul that I would get. I'd let them know about it. Or if the ref was a player's dad on the other team, I'd let him know, hey, I know you're the player's dad.
I have to remind you of our team name, Humble Pie. Come on, man, relax.
Well, there's a reason you named it Humble Pie.
That's true. That's good stuff right there. So anyways, the reason I brought up Bob Fitzgerald is he's going to be doing the playoff games, and I thought you would be excited to hear that.
I can't wait for the nation to hear him. I hope he gets a big
Are you hoping he does all the East playoff games?
I hope he doesn't do any games that I have to listen to. Well, I might actually not like him. I might actually like him if he does team that he isn't biased.
And not a Warriors game?
Yeah, like it might be a little different.
Did you like him when he did the Olympics?
I can't say I didn't like him.
Yeah,
but he was probably biased towards the USA. But
Russia looks damn good.
I don't know if we're gonna have trouble against Puerto Rico today. Even actually, Puerto Rico's not a bad team. But we're gonna have trouble against China. No.
Yeah, but anyways, that's funny. Yeah, you're right. I should actually look for that when he does a game. But I wanted to get into the playoffs. Like, I literally wrote down like no East series am I interested in, like, at all. Like, I mean, I'm really not. If I watch it, it will just be because it's on and nothing really else is on that I have.
Good players playing, but
I know that doesn't make me a hardcore fan, I guess, in some ways, but it's like those games just don't interest me. I'm
more into the West Coast
or in the West Coast.
Yeah, I agree.
So
I'll be interested in Boston.
It doesn't mean we don't know the East Coast. It just means the series itself aren't very fun to talk about.
There's a reason we're not interested because we know.
For the sake of it, let's remind everybody we talked about this last week. It's pretty much the same matchup as last time. For the East, we'll just say who they are, though. We got Milwaukee versus Orlando. Milwaukee easily. We got Toronto versus Brooklyn, not New Jersey, everybody. So, yep, boring as heck. And then we got Miami versus Indiana. I mean, probably
that's not bad. Miami's going to beat them. We weren't.
It's not exciting really either, right? It's not
Miami's one of the boringest teams to watch. I don't know how Pat Riley has an exciting team in LA.
What's the other
series? Running. Yeah, like Riley had these, and then he goes to the Knicks. They're a freaking snooze fest. He goes to the Heat, the coach. They're a snooze fest. Then you even have LeBron and Dwayne Wade, and they still play a boring style of basketball.
Well,
with Riley wasn't the coach, but he had his fingerprints all over it. I just don't know how he went from Showtime to snooze time.
Do you think it's because he's maybe more like the players? I feel like his roots, he got to control that situation a little bit more. Like in LA, he kind of came on as that was his first job, and they were already established at that point.
They already won a championship, and Magic got the coach fired the next year.
Yeah, so I mean, so he didn't really come in, and then after he with the Lakers, he kind of established himself as a great coach by that time. So he could kind of run the shots more how he wanted to. So I think obviously his system is obviously more. I want to grind you to death, and I want to like get in your face, and I want to play you intensely. And
I don't respect that.
I love your game. Like he had a great quote in his book, and I use it all the time when I do coaching because the truest thing in the NBA is if you play, and this is probably defines his teams too. If you play as hard as you can on every single possession, the refs will not call every foul. Like if you just play the same way, they'll at some point they'll call it on you, but they'll give you more than they won't allow other teams to because they're not going to call every single foul. You just need to make sure that you're playing that way all the time. And that's true, right? That's why the well, the playoffs are much harder. It's like, yeah, because everybody's playing at everybody's playing at an intensity that requires, to be a little bit more not called so much. So, but with the playoff matchups here, I wanted to go over the West Coast with you and just give you kind of.
Hold on, we didn't go over the 4-5. That was the best one.
Oh yeah,
Boston.
Not 3-6. I think it's actually right. It's Boston versus Philly.
See, I'm always interested in Boston.
But Simmons is out.
I love Jaylen Brown. Well, I just like Boston. I like Jaylen Brown.
Tatum's looking really good too, right?
Oh, they have the best young talent now. Like young.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess they only have Tatum and Brown, and I just think very, very highly of Brown, where he hasn't proven to be as highly as I think of him.
Tatum though is the best.
Oh yeah, I mean for sure.
I mean, he's going to be the best player. He might be the best player in the NBA in 3 years.
He could be, absolutely. I don't think he will. I wouldn't bet on it, but he'll be top 10, top 7, top 5, top 3 maybe.
Yeah, I think playing in Boston,
he'll be in that
more run. Yeah, he's just so well coached too. I said about that guy every
time. And he
time,
accepts it. Like he could be well coached and just not listen, like be a. Did you see the interview where he said, I didn't want to go to Boston? He's like, they just went to the couple weeks ago. He said, I didn't want to go to Boston. I wanted to go to Phoenix because I get more run because I guess Boston just went to Eastern Conference Final. No. Was he on that Eastern Conference Final? No, he was. They went to the playoffs.
Yeah.
And he's like, I don't want to go to a playoff team and get like 15 minutes. He's like, I'm not going to that workout. And then Coach K called him. He's like, look, Brad Stevens is a great young coach. You'll get some run. You'll get your run. Just go work out and see what happens.
Yeah, and the Celtics, remember, had to trade back for him.
Yeah, they traded number 1 to get to number 3 with Philly.
Just
good old Markelle Fultz. What a stud.
Good old Philly. Imagine if they had Tatum. It'd be like almost a perfect fit with Embiid.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Considering they got nothing for Fultz.
Because Simmons, it's good as Simmons as he can't shoot. So Tatum, would actually give Embiid some actual space down there. So that's the East a little bit there. The West, we got Lakers versus Portland. I got Lakers 4-1 basically. I'll give Portland 1.
I think that's going to be a dog fight.
I think games might be close, but I just feel like Portland. I just feel like they got to be a little tired, and I feel like
Lakers point guards are so bad. They're terrible.
Yeah, but
they lost
the rebounding is
Bradley.
So true. I just feel like they're going to get murdered on the glass.
If they really want to rebound, they're going to play small because that's the way they play. So, yeah, their rebounding isn't going to be that great, but they could play Nurkic. Nurkic and Hassan Whiteside. If they really wanted to, they'd get killed at certain aspects. But
most of the time they're going to play – they're going to go
Carmelo.
Excuse me. Go small and play Carmelo, McCollum, Gary Trent Jr., Lillard, and Nurkic. That's who they're going to play most of the time.
Yeah.
This Gary Trent Jr. guy is unreal at shooting all of a sudden. I mean, this guy's unreal.
How good was McCollum the last minute of that game? Or last 2 minutes?
He didn't look very hurt in the last minute.
No, man. He didn't look hurt that whole game.
No, he looked good.
He played clutch that game. It was
so
weird.
You think Portland will actually take more than a game?
I don't think they'll win. I think they'll.
Well, I know.
I think they'll get 2. I think they could get 3.
Wow. Okay.
Who do the Lakers have outside of LeBron? And it's bad.
Well, I mean, they still got.
Kuzma's okay.
They still got Anthony Davis, obviously. They got.
LeBron and Anthony Davis
still got Howard.
2 best players on the court.
Size there. They got Kuzma still.
I guess they have Howard. I forgot they had Howard.
So
I don't know.
I feel like
who's their point guard? Caruso?
Quinn Cook. Yeah, Caruso's pretty good though.
We watched enough Quinn Cook to know what Quinn Cook's about.
Yeah, he's that good. But Caruso's actually not bad. I actually think he's actually pretty good.
I think he's good in limited time. I don't think if you extend his minutes, I think he would be exposed.
You're right. I think you're right. I don't think Portland. I think Portland will get 1 on him.
Even their 2 isn't.
It'd be interesting if they got even 2 on him. Actually, and if they got 2 on him, then you're right. That would start to expose the Lakers. Like, we might have a problem guarding point guards going forward here. You know what I mean?
I think LeBron and Anthony Davis are too much to win the series.
Yeah,
but
the problem is Portland might have the best point guard left in the playoffs.
Well, they might have the best point guard in the NBA other than Curry.
That's my point. So maybe they won't have to deal with it as badly when it comes time. But that's not true because they'll have to play either Oklahoma City or Houston. So let's get.
Yeah, but Chris Paul's a different type of point guard.
True.
He doesn't scare you like Lillard can single-handedly.
He scares his own teammates.
Probably.
What do you think of that series? A lot of people think that's the best series.
Thunder.
I think it probably is, huh?
I think
in terms of competitiveness,
most intrigue.
Yeah, it kind of lost a little with Westbrook, I guess, being out.
He's supposed to come back though.
Yeah, I know, but with a quad, I guess you just never know, right? It's kind of one of those injuries that's like a time.
Sounds like a Chris Paul injury.
Speaking from somebody that tore his hamstring in sophomore year in high school, I know it takes. Remember, it took me about 8 months to run normal.
I remember you running those bases. Remember when you and my brother would pitch? It was like, man, we have slow and slower pitching tonight.
I know. I threw strikes there, Tyler.
No, you did throw strikes.
Yeah, I did throw
strikes.
Big
old. I just remember that big webbing.
I felt my defense wasn't good enough to catch that. Just kidding.
Your second baseman blew.
Yes, you did have some issues there for a few.
Oh my God! We don't need to get on.
Well, we can get into how you sucked at baseball for a little bit. That's fun. I'm sure people would like to hear about.
Go fuck yourself.
But anyway, in the West, we'll just make it kind of quick on it. So I got the Lakers, Utah, Denver. I like Utah 4-2. Who do you like?
Utah 4-2 over Denver.
Yeah, and the reason I do is I don't trust Denver really enough in big spots yet.
I don't trust Utah, so I think I trust Denver more than I trust Utah.
All right, well, let's see what happens.
Who do you trust Gobert over Jokic?
No, I just gotta feel like Utah's. There's no home court
Better
here.
coach?
Better hair, I guess. For that for sure. The hair is always out of place. I just think Utah.
Bill
I
Quinn.
just feel like Utah. It's how there's always just an upset. It seems like once a year, and that's a 3-6. And I just feel like Utah. They're close enough to Denver where I feel like Mitchell.
Oh, I mean,
I feel like
50-50.
Mitchell to me could be the best guard in the series. Murray could outplay him, but I feel like overall, I feel like Mitchell could outplay him by a lot more. And then
I would take Mitchell over Murray for sure.
So, but I feel like that could be the swing part of the series.
Hopefully, Malone lets Porter play 30-plus minutes and Bull play 20-plus.
That'd be interesting. So you got Denver there. Thunder Rockets. I got Thunder 4-3.
You have the Thunder?
Yeah, 4-3.
I'll take the Rockets.
What do you got them in?
4-3. 4.
All right, I'm keeping it down so when it's over we can.
4-3.
Yeah.
What did I say for Denver?
Yeah, you didn't tell. You got Denver what?
Denver 4-3.
All right, and then what do you got? Lakers 4-3.
No, 4-2.
All right, I got them 4-2. So 4-2. All right, so
what do you have them?
I got 4-1. I got 4-1 Lakers.
Okay.
4-1 Lakers, 4-2 Denver or Utah, 4-3 Thunder. All right, Clippers.
Let me see a printing of it.
Well, I've sent you the picture earlier.
Well, I want the picture now with the updated write-downs. All right, I want that picture next time we do it
So Tyler thinks Darren's the best. Mavs, Clippers, to me, that's the most exciting series. I just don't think Dallas has enough defense. Even though their offense was the most efficient in the league, I feel like the Clippers, if they're locked in this series, they'll be able to shut them down enough. Probably when it comes down to the last 3 minutes of games, I feel like that's when being a Warriors fans know over the years and seeing better teams how they kind of do some of these playoff series. It's like they kind of
just play with you.
Yeah, play. I mean, they'll probably blow.
I mean, watching the Warriors last 5 years, you saw it.
The only intrigue to this whole thing is the no fan thing. So it's like there is really no traveling advantage or you know what I mean. There's no, some of those little things that give you a massive advantage. But
I don't think anyone is worried about the Clippers' home court advantage.
No, but you get my point. More the traveling, I guess, would be the reason for that stuff. But anyways, I feel like Leonard being on Doncic at the end will be kind of an interesting thing to see. So I got the Clippers 4-2.
I have Clippers 4-1.
4-1. All right, let's get that in there. So 4-1 then. All right. So we'll recap where we're at then the first week. First games are tomorrow. They start at 10 o'clock.
We're not doing the East Coast. We're not wasting our time and yours.
No, we're not doing that one. Hey, a couple things before you get out of here. College football. Just a couple quick things on it. A lot going on with college football right now. Doesn't look good. I'm kind of surprised I'm not surprised the other leagues stayed open. I'm actually kind of more surprised that the Pac-12 and the Big Ten didn't come up with a strategy to stay open. More so because I would have thought that the college football programs would have brought in, I don't know, enough money to where it was worth trying to see if it would work or something like that. And they had enough time to kind of come up with some sort of safety protocol, I felt like. And the fact that they didn't do it, it kind of shows me that, I don't know, maybe it's more of a –
they care about their students, or it's not going that far?
I was kind of thinking it was a little bit more of a political thing too at times. And that's, you know what I mean? I think it's a safety.
Oh, it's always political.
So I just feel like that. I think liabilities probably is a big reason for it too. But I do find it interesting that it's always the southern and Atlantic areas that it's just that would do something more I'm not saying that one way is better than the other. It's just there's no doubt.
I'm saying I'll never want to live on the.
You never would have been
the South.
California's playing football and Georgia's not, or something like that. You knew this was how it was going to play out if it did. So then you had the NCAA commish come out. Or he's not the commish. I guess he's the president of everybody. That would be the worst job in America.
He needs to go to jail.
Be the worst job in America. It just seems like I don't know how you can do that job legally.
It's still Emory.
Yeah, I don't know how you can do that job legally. Like I said. He says that there's going to be no championship.
He doesn't do it legally. There's no way.
No, he does not.
Don't
he
sue
says there's going to be no championship for fall sports. And then you have Ohio State and Iowa parents coming very upset, saying basically what I said is that they should have had some sort of protocol set up. So what do you think? Big deal that that this is happening, or not a big deal at all? I think I'll get into my thoughts first. Let me get yours.
I think it's a big deal in the fact that there's kids that thought they were going to a school to play football, and they're shutting down the program and they could have gone to a different school. I think they should all be released from their
How much
scholarships.
do you think the parents care at all about the education loss, or is this more of just the football?
No, absolutely not. No. I mean, nor they shouldn't even, to a certain expect, like, if your kid loves football, even if he's not going to the NFL, but he's good enough to play, like, D1, like, he should have the right to play D1 football. Like, I don't, like, looking at it in the innocent way.
Well, what's the guy in the Bengals? Joe Burrow, right? Like, our Bengals guy here. He would know this. He even said it himself. He probably wouldn't be the number one pick at all if he didn't play his last year.
No, he wouldn't even. He was like a 5th round grade or something, whatever they call those nerds like Mel Kiper.
And there's some guys that are like how about the guys that are like they don't even go to D1 schools even? You know, those guys won't even be seen at all. Yeah, that's you know what I mean? Like there's guys like that.
That I don't really. Their talent gets found.
It does, but
I'm not worried about.
There's going to be more mistakes.
It's the guys
made.
It's the kids who just want to play football.
Yeah.
It's going to suck. I think it sucks for the NFL. Their minor league system's down. They don't. They're like, I mean, there's the obvious guys, but it's like I don't know. I didn't see this guy play for a whole year. You're going to send me in tape of him running routes against air? Oh, cool.
I heard they might do some like 7-on-7 games or something.
Well, that's real football. You can find real talent there. Like, how many guys do you think would excel that like are scared to get hit? Like, that, some guys are more scared to go over like, oh, but we're playing 7-on-7. I don't have to worry about it.
You know, the most mistakes would be made in this draft. Like passing on guys, or
a lot
how
of
could
guys.
you not? You didn't see guys this whole year. I mean, you might go a whole year and be like, this guy would got a lot better, a lot bigger, stronger.
For sure.
Yeah. So that the other interesting thing I heard too, listening to his name, I think his name's Kevin Clark, was he does this NFL kind of reporter guy. He said that if these colleges, don't have like the Pac-10 and the Big Ten don't have any open or aren't doing football, so that leaves them open to take jobs. Because right now they're currently not being paid for their jobs. Like they can take another job on this. They can take the NFL team can reach out to them to be like a guide or something like that. So like maybe an offensive coordinator, like helper or something.
Oh, get into some fishy stuff.
Well, like Bill Belichick could get like Nick Saban and say, "Hey Nick, you want to come down, help us for a couple months?"
Oh, he's gonna have a video. Alabama would say, "You're out of a contract. You take another job." He still has a contract.
No. It would be. Alabama would be still probably having football, but
you're talking about guys like that. Yeah, so the coaches aren't getting paid?
They're probably still getting paid, but like I guess
so there's still a contract.
Yeah, but I forget how he worded it. But if there's no football, they're allowed to also work another job basically. Yeah, because there would be no football this year. Like because Pac-10.
That's how. If you're getting paid, I think the contract still has some bearing.
Well, there might be. I think they're allowed to accept another job, is what I'm saying, because there's
while keeping that contract. I don't know about that.
I don't know how. I don't know what all the specifications
Maybe he could help and not get paid.
Yeah, but basically his point was that you could take another job. Either way or not, like they might not be able to get paid, right? So let's just take yours because yours sounds more realistic. So maybe they wouldn't get paid. But my point is that the head coach of a good college could go to an NFL team and help them out. So regardless of the pay, a coach could actually go do that. That would be a very interesting thing.
What about players, though, that aren't playing? They're not under NCAA violations if they're not playing football. Okay, I'm going to go and just be I'll write down your plays, but during practice, I'll work out with you and you can watch me play.
Yeah, maybe they could do something like that too.
Some sort of job. Like, I feel the players should take advantage of it more than – I'm not a player. Give me a job description that isn't player.
It's a very polarizing topic, college football, man. Like we live in
nobody cares about it here.
So I thought it was interesting that Trump's now getting behind college football play. Like it just gives you.
He's down for anything that's not Corona related. Like
he's trying to get votes, obviously too. But that's my point. Is like.
Yeah, he knows who his supporters are.
It's now becoming it's becoming like a political topic. Even college football is that now just the whole thing. It's just funny how it's taken on a different life. So it'll be interesting what happens with it. It doesn't look good for it. I do think that the Big 12. I could see the Big 12 maybe bailing out the end, but I still think they'll give it a go. And I think the Big 12, ACC, and SEC will. I think they'll play.
Who? So, the Big 12? Do you think will play? The ACC and the SEC?
Yeah. I think they'll play. So we'll see what happens. With the schools.
I think Nebraska will play. They're in the Big
Ten.
No,
they can't.
They're not playing.
They threatened to find another place to play, but then they came out the other day and said they're not going to do that.
See, like, if they try to cancel football in the SEC, like Alabama, Georgia, they're not going to be like, okay, we'll do that.
No. Yeah,
like Kentucky would be like, oh, that's fine. Well, yeah, we need basketball. We're not worried about football.
The other thing, too, with the college football, too, is I feel – remember how you were saying the guy, he's basically pretty corrupt?
Emmert?
The Emmett guy? Yeah.
I think the whole system is corrupt, and he's just the face of it.
Yeah, so I think there's no way I feel like there's something to be gained here somewhere, like along the line. Like there's a reason not all the schools have. Like,
there's hella money to be made.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see what happens with that.
Especially in the SEC where you have $100,000 seat stadiums getting filled. Maybe 10,000 are students, and you have 90,000 paying customers. And a lot of those schools sell alcohol in the stadium. Like where California, I think they don't sell alcohol during college. I mean, they pregame. Don't get me wrong, but
yeah, no, that's true. They don't do anything like that either. So I don't know. It'll be interesting to see what happens with college football. I just feel like it was an interesting topic it was a big thing last week. So we'll see what happens when it picks up here with right around the corner here. They're going to be games. So we'll see what happens. Couple things real quick. UFC, you caught who you call Stipe, right? He came out the champ last night. Cormier got popped in the face, said he couldn't see very well.
Oh, he got jabbed with a finger. They both
wasn't really a great fight. I mean, in a sense, they were
boring. I said boring yesterday or 2 days ago or what? Whoa.
Man down.
I didn't talk about this subject. But I said they were boring. It's more their personalities are boring. They don't sell a fight. No,
I gotcha.
But this sucks. What did I do?
Come on, man.
We're there. Come on. Crap out. All right. Come on. Other headphone? Don't let me know. All right.
Keep your head
What were we talking about?
Don't move your head. No, the fight. It was you were saying that they're boring and stuff, and they're not necessarily boring. Your personality is what you're saying.
Yeah, just selling it.
The fight was kind of boring though. It
wasn't great.
They weren't exciting in this one. The first two were a little bit more. They had 2 knockouts at least. This one was kind of a dud. So Cormier says he retires. Stipe kind of goes down as a, kind of whatever the greatest heavyweight champ, if you want to say. So I don't know. It was kind of a letdown a little bit. I thought in the overall like excitement of the fight, but I feel like that's where the fans kind of generate a little energy for it. At least just the introduction part of it and stuff like that. So it kind of just brings a little bit more to the fight, and maybe a duller fight like that in a sense too.
Like that Usman Masvidal fight. There was a lot of just hugging against the cage, pinning it or that's what Stipe was doing to Cormier. He was just holding him against the cage.
Maybe a crowd would do that or something.
I don't think you should care. You play to win the game, as Jim Morris says. But it's just not. And they both stood. It was fine. At least they weren't hugging each other. They're like laying on top of each other and humping each other for 5 rounds. That's what
it's true. That's when it starts to get a little weird, doesn't it? That's what it starts to get a little weird.
I'm not going to say weird. Weird sounds derogatory. It gets Khabib style, and you just want to turn it off. I'd rather watch him wrestle a bear.
That's funny. I would rather watch him wrestle too. So, anyways, the UFC was kind of a little let down in the overall of it, but still, he proved he was he just was the better fighter last night. He was longer, he was quicker, he was more agile, so he was really impressive though overall. I wanted to get to a funny story here before we.
Hold on, one more thing on the UFC. Yeah. My favorite fight going into it was O'Malley, and he tears his knee up in the first round and just limps around and ends up getting caught at the end of the round. And so that was a letdown too. So
it took him a second too.
So I guess if you're a Stipe fan, the card was great, but anybody else, I think card kind of.
We should start betting on that stuff. Like going on a little bit more. Like we should.
What do you mean betting?
Make it a little bit more exciting. Or? No, overall, we put it on. We should see what the over under on some we could win.
I think that's a you and Flanagan podcast.
Well, no. I didn't say podcast. I said me and you just do it. Me and you just
for fun.
Yeah,
I'm not a big better. I don't like betting. I always lose. I bet on like 10 football games last year. I think I won 1 out of 9, and the one I won was like a parlay, so it didn't count anyway.
Didn't count. All right. Well, you're maybe not the person taking.
Yeah, I'm bad luck.
Hey, I did read this story to you before we got out of here tonight. So Derek the other day, it was my son.
Derek, your son. Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Alex Rodriguez was on TV or something like that, and they said A-Rod, and for some reason that caught his attention, and he goes, "So, Dad, who's this A-Rod guy?" And I was explaining it to him, and it was funny. And so, anyways, I kind of
Derek, sit on my knee. Let me.
I was like, "Oh yeah, I played, whatever, played baseball, whatever." And then I was like, I kind of looked online. I was just like, A-Rod stash or something. And then it had funny stories. And here's this funny story about him when he was a rookie. Listen to this. This is about basically to set the scene. He's his rookie year, and they're in Kansas City playing the Royals for a game. And, A-Rod, even now, he's, probably a little arrogant, probably feeling himself a little bit, just, knowing he's good. And, so here he is showing up to –
He is having sex with Jennifer Lopez. I think he's doing all right.
He's doing all right. So we were in Kansas City for early hitting, and Alex had never been to Kansas City. It was about 106 degrees out there on the turf, and Alex showed up.
Who's saying this?
Somebody telling the story about being there. He says, so it was 106 out there on the turf, and Alex showed up with a bag of Taco Bell, and he's sitting in the dugout, and he says, "Hey guys, anybody want a taco?" Jay Buhner, a really high-spirited Texan bald dude, had a really mean demeanor, but he was a puppy dog. He walks up to Alex and goes, "What are you doing? How come you're not out here early?" He goes, "Oh man, I'm just having some food. I was starving." Jay goes, "Wow, man, that's awesome. You got Taco Bell. You going to get that for everybody?" Alex goes, "Oh yeah, I brought plenty." And Jay picks the bag up, throws it up in the air, takes his bat and swings it and just smashes it all over the wall of the dugout. And goes, "Don't ever be late for early hitting again, rookie. Now clean up this crap." When I read that story, I was like, there's got to be so many people that were like, "Thank you, Jay Buhner, for just being an asshole to A-Rod at least one time in his career."
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because obviously he was always the highest paid player, so he probably he got to run the show most of the time. So
I don't think A-Rod would even do that because he didn't care enough about other players. Give him that much attention. I don't care if you better yourself. Just stay out of my way.
I just would have loved to have been a fly on the wall for that one. I could see
Jay Buhner. I was looking up his stats. I was like, holy smokes! He had some years where I was like, in the Royals, he had like 44 home runs and 144 RBIs. I was like, the hell, Jay Buhner?
There might have been some roids involved in it. He says no.
Think how loaded that team was with Jay Buhner, Edgar Martinez somehow in the Hall of Fame, but it's an argument for another day. Ken Griffey Jr., A-Rod.
Yeah, it was a good team.
Omar Vizquel was on a couple of those teams. A-Rod wasn't there yet. I guess before A-Rod.
Yeah,
that's where Omar Vizquel started.
Randy Johnson at the time.
The big unit.
Man, crazy to think they were like borderline had like one of the greatest pitchers and greatest hitters of all time on their team at one time.
2 of the greatest hitters.
And they just couldn't get to the world. If they would have stuck together, like if they would have known, they
beat the Yankees once. Good job.
They did. All right, man. That was fun doing the podcast with you tonight. Wrapping up the sports week. A's Giants this week. Anything else you got before you want to get out of here?
Fuck the A's. And let's go Padres.
All right, take it easy, man. Later.
Later.
See ya.